Okay guys, back with another video. I know on my last one with the trout tutorial, I didn't do any of the knots. So this time I want to kind of go over some of the knots that I use, what's good for what situations I use them in, and all that stuff. So the most common one I use, number one, especially freshwater, I even use this in saltwater, is called the improved clinch. Now it's just a fancy term for fisherman's knot. It's the old school one you learned when you were a kid. And if you didn't learn it, this is definitely the one that you should know. Just go through the eye, simple like that. Now I'm using this Dacron 80 pound. I mean, it's really big and a really big hook, but I just want to, it's easier to demonstrate. It's bigger, it's just easier to see and all that. So what you're gonna do, just run it through the eye, hold it in both ends like this, and then just twist. I usually go, I don't know, depending on the line I'm using, 6-8 times is usually good. And then you're gonna run it through that hole you just made, right there by the hook, not through the eye, but through the hole. Then you're gonna go back through that hole you just made again. So you're gonna go through twice, in here and then into there. Kind of pull it tight, kind of like that. Definitely wet it, you always wet it, so it cinches better. If you don't wet it, you can generate friction on it. And if you're using fluoro, it'll kind of mess it up. So you don't want to do that. And you just cinch it down, make sure it's tight. Pull on your tag end a little bit, and we'll tighten it right down. And that's it. It's called the improved clinch or the fisherman's knot. I use it all the time. Trim your tag, and that's it. And we'll do another one here. And this one I use all the time too. It's called the uni knot. This one's pretty easy also. Run it through the eye. Get you a little bit more on the tag end this time. You're gonna need a little bit more. I'm gonna go, I don't know, about like that or so. Then you're gonna kind of double back on itself a little bit. Then you're gonna wrap your tag around the two ends that are in the eye. So you got kind of a loop like so. Then you're just gonna go in and out, in and out, I don't know, 5-6 times or so. The bigger the line that you use, you don't want to go as many times. You're using some really light line, go 6 times, 8 times. But when you cinch it up, the way that you can tell that you've done it right is it almost looks like a figure 8, like so. Just like that. Always wet it. And then once you get it about like that, it should cinch right down, just like so. Boom, just like that. And that's called the single uni knot. Now, I also use a version of this uni, it's called the double uni, to connect my braid to my floral. I always use that one for my braid to floral. Unless I'm in the ocean with some bigger stuff, then I'll use the FG, but I'll show you that one too. But we'll peel off some here. Peel off a little bit more on this side. Okay. Okay, so now we have 2 pieces of line. We'll say this is your braid to your rod, and then this is going to be your fluoro leader or mono leader, whatever. So what you want to do is double them up like this, side to side, back to back, whatever you want to call it. Take one, loop it back around on itself, like we did before with the single uni, and same thing, in and out, in and out, in and out, 4, 5, 6 times, like that. Wet it up real good. Make sure you got the figure 8, just like that, and tighten it up. Now you don't want to tighten it all the way down. You kind of want to leave it loose because when you get these together, you don't want them too tight. And same thing on this side. Pull out what you need, like so. And same thing, in and out, in and out, in and out. Wrap it around there, and same deal. Wet it up, cinch it down semi-tight, and then they should just come together. Bam, like that. That is your double uni. Very common knot. Used out in the ocean, used in freshwater. I use it all over. It's a really cool knot, super easy. Easy to do on like a moving boat. That's why I like it. And I don't think it's quite as strong as the FG, but that's it. There's your double uni. All right. Now I'll do the FG knot. Okay, now this one's a little bit different. So say this is your fluoro or mono, whichever, your plastic fishing line, let's call it. You want that to be on one side only, because this is a little bit different. This has to be done like this. You always want to wrap the braid side. So what you're going to do is kind of double back on itself like that. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 inches or so. Don't need much. Kind of kink it at the end. Then you're going to take your braid, run that through, I don't know, probably double what you pulled off of this tag end, maybe 8 inches or so, like that. Then you're just going to wrap. You're going to wrap both of these ends like this. I don't know, wrap it six times. Wrap it, wrap it, wrap it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back on itself, and you want to make X's. I know it's kind of hard to see. Both these lines are the same color. I should have done 2 different ones, but when you wrap it back on itself, you want to make X's out of the line that you're wrapping. And that's how you know that you've done it correctly. Like that. I know you can kind of see that. When I tighten it up, you'll be able to see it. And then when you get to the end, you want to go back through that same loop that you put the braid in the first time. You want to go back through the same way that you came in. If you do it backwards, it's not going to work out right. So it should look like that. I don't know if you can see it like that with X's. Okay, then you want to wet it up. And then slowly but surely kind of cinch it up. And you can't just go real fast at once because it'll be uneven. You want to kind of cinch it up to where it goes evenly. Got to get it even. I believe that's called the FG. I don't know. Put down in the comments if you think it's something different, or if you know it's something different. I don't know. That's, I believe. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Then trim your tags, but this knot is a little bit stronger than the double uni. I've had the double uni fail before. I've never had this one fail, but it's a little bit more involved, and it's also lower profile. So if you're putting on like a mono top shot or a fluoro leader or something, and a knot has to go through your eyes of your rod, this one's lower profile. So you can cast this one a little bit better, and then you can reel it better. It won't get snagged on your eyes, whatever. And that's kind of important. If you got a big fish on, you don't want any trouble. You know, a lot of stuff can go wrong the bigger fish you catch. But yeah, that's the FG. I use that a lot for my bigger stuff. You know, 40 pounds, 60 pound, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, that's it. I'll go over one more here, and this is like also my go-to. I use this a lot for catfish, for striper, if I'm bait fishing. For rock fishing, I use it a lot for rock fishing. This is super easy. I mean, you teach your kids this, whatever, this is an easy one. So what we're gonna do here, let me trim off this bad stuff. I'm kind of afraid. But this is called the drop loop. I've heard it called lots of things, either a chicken rig or different stuff. Back east they call it something different, but out here we call it the drop loop. And then real easy, just loop it up like that. Just make a loop in it, kind of separate a little bit. Then what you're gonna do, let's get a little bit more. You're gonna twist these together. Not the loop part, but these two main ends, you're gonna loop this, twist them. You're gonna make a hole in the middle. Don't have to go many, you just go 3 or 4 times. Then after you get that loop, you're gonna take that other one and you're gonna pull it through there. Just like so. So it looks kind of like this. I'll straighten that out. Kind of see that? That's what you wanna do. Then you just pull it through and tighten it up. But you gotta do it evenly and wet both ends. And then pull tight. And it should look like this. I know this Dacron is kind of hard to work with. If you have mono, it goes really easy. It slides really easy. This Dacron braid doesn't slide as well. But yeah, that's it. And you want to pull that tight. And you can put, well, here in California, you can put 2 of these on here. And that's what we use. We use 2 of them. It's called the double dropper loop. And then to get your hook on there, you're going to kind of kink the end a little bit. Make it kind of small and low profile. Pinch it. Sorry about that. Camera cut off for a second. Had to change the battery here. But to get your hook onto this, you're going to want to pinch it and kind of get it low profile, kind of. Then you're going to run that both ends through the eye of your hook there, like so. And then you're going to take that loop and run it around the hook point, around the whole thing, like that. And then cinch that tight. It's almost like a cinch knot. Boom. There you go. That's it. That is your dropper loop. And then on one end, you'll tie your weight. I think I got a weight. Yeah, I got a weight here. A torpedo sinker. And then you're going to use whatever knot you want on your single tag in here, whether it be your fisherman's knot or your... It looks like I'm having some issues with my battery. I think I got it figured out. So in order to get a weight on this, you just do your regular old fisherman's knot, your improved clinch, or whatever you want to do, and put that through, and bam, just like that. And then cinch that down, and there you go. That's what you got. And that would be your double dropper loop setup. You put one more up top, you know, somewhere around here, so maybe a foot apart, however, you know, depending. But yeah, those are the basic knots that I use. And that's it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Get any comments? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Or if you got any other knots that maybe I should know about, let me know. I'll use them. If they work, I'll use them. I'm open to suggestions. But thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll get you another video. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get out. It's Saturday's tomorrow. It's supposed to be pretty nice weather, so maybe we'll get out and do some fishing. But next time, I'll see you. Bye.